I think we all deserve to have a good Kunoichi in our life, or should I say woman? Well, good news, because today we're going to be unlocking a digital girlfriend. Welcome to the round by round Dark Ops challenge guide for Kunoichi. Now let's get into the loadout. Today's loadout's pretty freeing as you can use whichever gun you want. I know it's exciting. As for the melee weapon, any of the three will work, but I would recommend the combat knife as it does the most damage. We obviously have to run Ether Shroud. The lethal is up to you as well, and the tactical I would recommend the decoy grenade. However, if you don't have it unlocked, that's fine. It just makes the challenge a little bit easier. Also, Idolize the Gobblegum makes this challenge a little bit easier as well, so if you are struggling, go ahead and equip that and I will show you how to use that for the challenge. Now, lastly, going over the augments, we want to talk about two things here. The Melee Macchiato will have the Espresso augment that makes our melees a little bit faster, getting us through this challenge just a little bit easier. Also, the field upgrade for Ether Shroud is part of the challenge, so we definitely have to have Void Sheath on, but we also want to put on Extension as that'll give us a longer window of time to do the challenge. So throw in all those if you have them, and let's get into this challenge. I'll see you in game. So this challenge can be done on standard and it can be done on either map. So I'm going to show you first Liberty, and then afterwards I'll show you the same strategy on Terminus, and I'll let you decide which one you think is easier. Welcome to the round by round Dark Ops challenge guide for Kunoichi, where I take you from round 1 until we pop the calling card. Finally, today's challenge doesn't require us to be an exterminator just to get through the bugs. It's a pretty simple challenge. We have to kill 1 elite zombie, 2 special zombies, and 3 regular zombies in 1 activation of our Ether Shroud using the Void Sheath augment. So I'll show you a couple ways to get this done and make it easy, but since this is a pretty straightforward challenge and it's just getting to the low 20s rounds, I'm going to spend less time on the actual setup and more time on the challenge itself. However, I will show you the major milestones along the way if you're trying to copy the progression in which I upgrade stuff. So I'll see you when I get to Pack-a-Punch at round 7 or so. Alright, so I'm in the church by round 6 and I can go ahead and Pack-a-Punch my gun. I can also be farming these crystals for any extra salvage. They refresh each round, so be farming that throughout the duration of this challenge as you can get a lot of extra salvage that way. We will need to have it to make this challenge easier. The other thing you need to be doing throughout the duration of this challenge is hitting the Gobblegum machine for your Idolize. You want to be hitting that at the start of each round when it refreshes, and you should have plenty of time to pull your Idolize by the point this challenge takes place, which is usually around 21, 22, 23, somewhere in there. So anyways, I'll see you at round 10. At the end of round 10, we can do a few more things. Go ahead and do the Raining Zombies Easter egg. Aim at that dark gray spot in the cloud about halfway up the stairs, and you should get it every time. So while that's going on, we want to go ahead and buy Melee Macchiato, and then we also want to upgrade our knife's rarity. Hold off on the ammo mods here, just upgrade the rarity on your knife to at least blue, and then we're going to put the blue wrench that we get from the Raining Zombies Easter egg on our weapon, just like so. And yeah, now we can go ahead and just start setting up. I'm going to go ahead and survive over here by the bowling alley. So I'm just going to hang out down here in this general area, and I'll check in with you about round 15 or 16 when we have enough to upgrade some more. Really quick, we can go ahead and double pack our weapon. This will be the furthest we upgrade our gun, at least until we get to the end. We'll make a decision at the end, but double pack and blue is perfectly fine on your gun. We want to put all of our salvage towards upgrading the rarity of our knife, as well as pack-a-punching our knife. So if you happen to have enough money to pack your knife once, you can do that. If not, hold off and just do it when we get to about round 15 and 16, where we upgrade the rarity. At the end of 15 or 16, whichever round you have enough salvage and money for, go ahead and upgrade your knife to purple, and then double pack the knife as well. We should be getting an Abomination any minute now if you haven't already had it, so you can go ahead and kill that one. We don't need to save that one. So when you get to your second Abomination, you know, round 18, 19, 20, somewhere in there, you want to make sure that you're saving it for the challenge on round 23. Round 23 is usually the round that the double manglers spawn. It can be 22, and I think it can be 24. It really comes down to your vermins, but basically round 23 is your benchmark for the challenge itself. So if you get an Abomination on like round 19 or 20 or something like that, you want to save it for the challenge itself. So just carry on with rounds. Also, when we get to the challenge, there is the full power Easter egg right there. You could shoot that if you are out of your Ether Shroud for some reason, or like maybe you got cornered and you had to use it. So you can always refresh right before you do the challenge itself. So now I'm going to cut back to like right before the challenge with our last bit of setup, and then we will start this challenge. Okay, so I had my second Abomination on round 20. So what I want to do is weaken it to maybe a little less than halfway. That way, in case I shoot it in the next couple rounds, it doesn't just insta-die. So I'm going to go ahead and weaken it just a tad bit more, maybe like right there. I'll go ahead and finish off weakening him when I actually get to the challenge itself. But I just want to leave him a little less than halfway. That way if I grab a nuke or anything like that, it doesn't actually kill him. because I need to keep him alive until about round 23. So at this point, you want to get last minute setups. If you can get orange on your knife, great, because it's going to be in the next couple rounds. So if you can get to orange, that's fantastic. If not, it's not needed. It just makes it a little bit easier. So if you haven't been getting idolized, do that now. If you need to upgrade your gun in rarity or your knife rarity, whatever it is that you have to do, this is the last bit of setup. And so at this point, it'll either happen on round 22, 23, 24. So I will see you when we get to the challenge. So I was able to get the 5,000 salvage to upgrade my knife. To do this, just make sure you're hitting those church crystals. You shouldn't have too much of an issue depending on how lucrative you are with the crystals. If you're doing that constantly, you should have no problem getting to 5,000. But like I said, purple's fine too. It just makes it even better to have orange, obviously. So yeah, I've got my Abomination alive still. It's round 21, about to be 22. I expect to have this challenge in the next round or so. All right, so it just turned round 23. This should be the round that we get it on. I just had a vermin on 22, and I've got my Abomination pretty much dead, so about that health is just fine for this challenge. And what I like to do is start down here, and basically this will spawn our Abomination and our Manglers and all of our zombies. So I wait for the Manglers to spawn in. So I've got one coming in right here. We have our Abomination. And we should get a second Mangler here in just a second. Ow. So there's our second Mangler. So once they're all in the map, what I like to do, there he is run up top here. And this is going to essentially despawn everybody if you're quick about it. Now, you got to be a little bit decent at training. So you can just sit up here, and basically what the cemetery does is it forces all the zombies to stand in that corner. So I like to just kind of train circles on either the top platform or on the bottom platform. Whatever one you're comfortable with, it's fine. But I just train laps, and see, it'll force the Abomination and all the Manglers right there at the top. And once all of our guys are in the map, alright, now that they're all in the map, what I want to do is go ahead and pop Idolize. And then we hit our Ether Shroud. There's 1, 2, get your 3 zombie kills, your second Mangler, and then you can just start going to town in case you didn't get it. But see, they all pile up right here with the Idolize and being in the cemetery. It forces all the spawns to just be like right beside you. So, I mean, if you can't get 3 zombie kills in this method, I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, I don't know. It's really just, I guess, manipulating the spawns, really. So it'll force the Manglers out of this window or this window. And it'll also force the Abomination to spawn out of those. Because normally, well, we just got a second one. That's funny. Normally, they get kind of stuck, like in this hallway area right here, and they will try to jump up and they have a hard time. So I've figured by despawning, it forces them all the way up top there, and then they spawn in right on top of each other. So you can use Idolize to do that and hit your Ether Shroud. You can use your decoys instead of Idolize if you wanted. Basically, you know, just get through it, I suppose, just as long as you don't go down or something like that. There's also the insta-kill Easter egg that's on the roof in that church area, or in the cemetery area as well, if you wanted to make it even easier. And trust me, guys, I see the comments about popping the actual challenge with my alt account or something. So I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. But for now, I'm still going to have to pretend, all right? But to make up for it, I promise the next Dark Ops guide, I will pop the calling card in the video. So unfortunately, I started this series about halfway through all the challenges. So I don't know. I'm making the most of it. Alright, so that's a look at the Kunoichi Dark Ops challenge to melee a elite, 2 specials, and 3 zombies all in 1 Ether Shroud with the Void Sheath augment. It's not too bad. You can go about it a couple different ways, but I found the cemetery to be the easiest. So if you enjoyed this method, you can do it on this map. The only downside to this map is that the Abominations can in fact kill the zombies, as you just saw right there. And that could potentially ruin the round. They could kill a Mangler. They could ruin your challenge. If you want to do it on this map, you can. Terminus is a little bit slower to get set up. However, I find it to be a little bit easier with the Amalgams and the Manglers. So I'll show you briefly like where to go if you are on Terminus. Alright, so once you get to the round 22, 23 range, just like on Liberty, it's the exact same formula, just different map. So if you get an amalgam early, you're going to save it. Exact same method. Just imagine you're on Terminus. But once you do, in the same way that we went from the bowling alley to the cemetery to despawn, you would want to come over here and make all the amalgams and manglers and zombies spawn in over here at this island, which will give you a good amount of room to train, but also keep the spawns really close together. Whenever it gets to the point where you have to do the challenge, you can always cross over here. They will all like single file line. You could throw a decoy, you could use your idolize, you could do anything like that. And there'll just be a huge conglomeration of zombies and manglers and all that. But just by despawning them, it'll force the amalgams and manglers to be kind of close together. I would suggest getting them as close together as you can for the actual challenge. But yeah, this island or any of the small islands around this map are good for this challenge. So that's how I would go about it on Terminus. I think that Terminus is easier. However, I think it takes longer to get set up because we don't have the rarity and stuff like that that we get for free on Liberty. But like I said, Liberty is a little bit faster, but it ends up killing zombies and it can be a little bit more annoying. So either one works. You can do it on either map. I did it on Terminus the first time I did it, and then I just showed you guys on Liberty. So after having done both, I think the Terminus is still the one that I liked the most, personally, but personal preference. But yeah, that's going to wrap up the Kunoichi calling card. I hope you guys enjoyed this round-by-round Dark Ops guide. At this point, I'm pretty much done with all of the main challenges. We have the speed run left, we have the round 100 left, and the round 50 left to do. But those are not necessarily the same kind of format as what we've been doing. So I will be doing those, and that'll be my next videos. But also I have a 10,000 celebration video I'll be posting in the near future, as well as a celebration live stream where I will be helping people do stuff like Easter eggs or challenges, and all the details will be posted in that celebration video. That'll be in the near future. So thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Absoulem, and I'll see you in my next video.